If you're an older skater, you'll remember this product. So stay tuned and you'll find out what this product is. So when I got back into skateboarding, I got some new shoes, and you know, the shoes that I remember weren't there. Osiris weren't there, Axiom weren't there, Circa weren't there, so I had to buy some New Balances. And the shoes were a lot different to what I remember. There was no ollie guards, there was no big padding, there was no shoelace protectors. So this video is about how you protect your shoes when you're an older skater. But first things first, we've got to have some coffee. Oh God, I'm addicted to this stuff. That tastes good. So if you remember when you were back in your teenage years, you always got scuff marks on your toe from kick flipping, 360 flipping, and on your heels from doing heel flips. And there was only one thing that you did when you were a teenager, and that was use this product. And you would slap it on all the time. So that might have gave you a hint about what this product is and what I'll be using today. Oh, and before all that, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like that video. It means a lot to me. So what I'm talking about is Shoe Goo. Man, this stuff was the best back in the day. This is all we used to use on our shoes. Now for some reason, I don't know why, but it's hard to find now, and you go into skate shops and you ask them, and some people look at you like you're from the Stone Age, but this is what we do, what we used to do to repair our shoes. So I don't know what it is. You leave in the comments below why now, when your shoes have got holes or are starting to scuff up, why you just buy new shoes? Why aren't we using Shoe Goo? Right, so these are my New Balance 440s, version 2s. High top, but I think they're actually a mid top. But you can see my shoes, they're starting to wear, especially where I attempt to do kick flips and sometimes land 360 flips. Oh, my ollie spot. It's probably my most worn out spot. But these shoes aren't too bad. They've got like a protective thing underneath, but I'm gonna have to start shoe going this front here. So, first, well, next step, not first, open up the Shoe Goo. So you can get this in all different sizes. I've just chose the 105.6 grams. I don't know why they 105. So just chuck that away. Then you get it in your little tube. And your tube will have a little end there. So you just got to pierce that. So on your cap, there's a little knob on the end. And you just push that in. Then you'll have your Shoe Goo. Now, be careful where you get all this stuff, because it will get sticky. So what you can do, and I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to raw dog it, is you can get a paddle pop stick to lay this on your shoe. But where your spot is, where you want to put it, so I'm going to put it on the tip first. So you just going to lay that on. I'm going to do the full spot there. We'll put some around there. So I'm going to put that in there. You can see that's on there. We'll just sit that down. Now what I tend to do, and I don't recommend this, is I wet my finger and we just push that on there. That way it's not sticking as much to your foot. And just try and smoothen that out. Lick your finger if you have to. And you just try and make that smooth with the rest of your sole of the shoe. But the key is the wetness. So you can spray it to make it easy to go on, but you just want to really do the problem areas where you do your ollies and kick flips. And you can see I've done all that area and it's nice and smooth, because this will wear off with your grip tape. I've done a little bit of boo-boo there, so where parts are folded over, I'm going to fold it back over and try to just get everything to its original spot. Try to do it thick, but that's it. That's clear at the moment. Let's see if we can get that. That's clear at the moment, but it will dry to a more hazy colour. But you can see where the hole was starting and around the other side here. I've just put all that Shoe Goo on there, and I have lined, just made it flush with the outer sole rim part here. You can go further down on it, but you know, you don't have to. So you let that sit. I'll take a while. And the good thing is, you've saved your shoe. So I'll leave that for a bit. Put your cap back on. And you can just reuse this stuff. Shoe Goo, the ultimate 2004 to 2006, 8 rescue of shoes, rescue of skate shoes. So back, story behind it. Let me see that. Ooh. So that's how I apply Shoe Goo onto my shoes. That's probably how I did it back in the day. I'm a little bit sure I used a paddle pop stick, but I have used the wet finger before and put it on there. I try to make it look nice and neat, but back in the day, this is how you knew another skater. You'd look at their shoes and there was Shoe Goo on there. You went, yeah, you're a skater, but now these shoes are going to last me a little bit longer. And this is what we did back in the day. So the reasoning behind Shoe Goo, and this is my reasoning behind it. So back in the early 2000s, there was multiple skate shoes, and like I'm talking the best of the best, the cream of the creme skate shoes. You know, you had your Osiris D3s, you had your Axion, your Crean Campbell, I think you rode for them. You had your Circas, you had the Muskers, you had your ESs, the Etnies. So all these shoes, you know, this is my upbringing. We couldn't afford good shoes like that. So they were expensive. For you know, for us teenagers, we couldn't buy new shoes all the time. So that's where Shoe Goo come in, is we could make our shoes last longer with the Shoe Goo by applying that Shoe Goo and keep skating. Like sometimes our shoes, like the soles would be falling off, and we would try to Shoe Goo them back on and like duct tape and sticky tape and put the Shoe Goo over the top. it was a mess and it didn't look good, but we made it last because I and some of my mates, we didn't have the money to buy new shoes every time it got a hole into them. So this was just us being resilient and having this Shoe Goo. I don't know where we learnt it from. I know other skaters did it. It was, I reckon it was a thing back in the early 2000s of skateboarding that you used Shoe Goo. So that's where it's come from. That's my memory of it. I think that's where it originated from, was just making things last in the early 2000s because skate shoes were expensive. So if you like that video, history of Shoe Goo, why I'm still using Shoe Goo, like, subscribe. Let me know if you remember Shoe Goo, if you use Shoe Goo, if you did use Shoe Goo, and if you're going to use it now. Thanks for watching. I'm Johnny Rapp.